rest day.
My arms,
pretty big win.
My arms feel good and worked out.
Man, she's getting stronger. Like, way stronger. Like she was in female beast mode. Like yesterday afternoon. Day 2 of skinny jeans. I would say it's been a pretty big success so far. Can't reveal all the details, but let's just say it's been working out for me. It is time for Thermostat Watch 2017. Oh, look at that. 60 degrees in here right now? Are you kidding me? This is amazing. And it's supposed to be as high as 67 today?
For 2 hours.
No fire today, folks. I don't just like waiting to turn on the heat because it saves money, although I'm aware of that cost on our life. But a number of things happen when you either delay turning on the heat or you turn it a little bit lower than you're comfortable with that we've observed. One is you actually see that we are whizzes at adapting. Whatever you think is horrific or impossible very quickly becomes normal. And I love seeing this with the kids especially because they don't even know to complain. So it's just like, they're just okay with it. The second thing is when you actually do turn on the heat or light the fire, it's just like the appreciation goes through the roof. Everyone that's been camping knows how this works. When you sit down after a long hike, a pack of ramen seems like amazing. Or when you get off the trail and you go to Applebee's, the shitty half-price nachos are like gourmet feeling with a crappy beer. And I don't think we just need to have that while camping. It's like urban camping in a way where we can constantly be pushing ourselves to appreciate these things that everyone else just takes for granted. I'm always looking for ways to increase our flexibility around things that are not mandatory. It's really easy in our culture to think that these things that we have are necessities, whether it's heat or climate control at a certain level, or these comfort items or technology items. And when we organize our life that way, I think without realizing it sometimes, we actually, like, a lot of our life ends up revolving around these items. And we don't want that. Like, there's things that we care about more than comfort. No. We care about relationships. And sometimes you have to choose between comfort and relationships. And this actually has a huge impact when we're planning adventures like going on the Appalachian Trail or even other things that we have lined up right now or things that we've thought about in the past. If comfort was our primary goal, we probably wouldn't do those things. And at the end of our life, we're not like, yay, we were comfortable. Like, that isn't a huge thing. I don't think comfort is wrong. I like it, but I think it needs to be put in its place. And sometimes turning on the heat a little bit later or putting it a little bit lower reminds us of the things that matter the most. Just getting ready for Shabbat dinner tonight by preparing the meat to marinate. It's Friday, which means we're going out to lunch, my parents and I. My dad chose last week, so it's my mom or I's choice this week.
Oh. Man, I think it's your turn.
My turn?
Yep.
Where do you want to go, Mom?
It's your turn. Hey, you just sound as if you're giving me favor. You choose.
Well, you just say that because you never want to say it.
I did choose 2 weeks ago.
Alright, well, I don't mind choosing for you. So, last week you paid for lunch, and I was wondering if that's just like the new thing. If you're
no, that's not the new thing.
If you're watch some sermon on generosity, you're like, how often do you get to go to your lunch with your son while he's wearing a picture of his parents? One's in front, one's in back.
That one's in back.
All right, Mom, which one?
Bottom.
Bottom? There's no bottom.
Oh,
It's
I
front and
thought
back.
front. Oh, front.
What kind of funny business is
What
this?
is the front and back? Okay.
There's one right there
Okay,
and one back there. Back? That one's paying.
This one is paying. He's a good son.
Okay.
Again.
Listen, you guys are welcome.
Yeah, more than-
Even though I'm wearing my parents' t-shirt. We are all ready for Shabbat. Look what I got for Rainier. He's gonna love that. He's never had chocolate milk before. What are you doing?
Dove put a cold mask on me.
Yeah. Women philosophizing here. No cigars for you ladies for this conversation. This is a shorty, huh?
I know, it's a shorty.
We could just find out you caught up on all 500 some vlog episodes.
Is that awesome or what?
You were like
Yes.
cruising the last week.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was determined, like, one at a time. You know, there's people out there that are like that. And I just was like, I can't skip ahead, and don't make me.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can see how God is using you speaking truth to really, like, to just be a different vantage point that most people won't be vulnerable enough to share. It's been really cool for me to know you guys honestly, and then to like get to know you guys through the vlog and be like, yep, they really are like this, and they aren't putting on a show. And
Huh. Oh, that's cool.
I just feel really excited for the doors of truth that it's like opening up for God. It's worth it. It was totally worth
We
it.
did it together.
We did it, guys.
Julie has been one of our most faithful encouragers through really this whole process, the last 2 years.
We got a letter from Madeline. Dear Crawford family, thanks so much for doing your vlog. As a kind of private person myself, I feel like what you do is huge. I struggle with self-worth, so it's not that easy for me to write to you. I think, why would they want to know about me and stuff? But then I think that it's that kind of thinking that could have stopped you from even doing your vlog in the first place. Leia! And it's 5 pages long. We're not gonna read it all in the vlog. But Cammie already read it.
One of the things that she says is, I feel a deep sense of peace that where I am now is okay and good enough and even lovable, which I never felt before. And it gives me permission to try because I know I can't fail in God's eyes. If there's any message that I would want to come across on our vlogs, that's the most important thing to us, that would be it. And I started like tearing up. I don't like to be preachy, and I don't like to say Bible verses on this vlog much, but this Bible verse she shared like made me tear up. It says Matthew 25, whatever you do for the least of my brothers and sisters, you do for me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was in jail, you visited me. I feel like I have felt hopeless, and I feel like what you do with Fight for Together is give hope to people who want and need it so badly. What you do is not easy. You totally put yourselves out there and catch a lot of flack. I just want you to know that it is deeply appreciated. I mean, that just spoke to this like really tender place in my heart where the last couple years have been really, really tough for me, and I have wanted to give up at times on this vlog, or I've like asked like what is, I don't know what the point is, like I don't really know why we're doing this, but this is like, oh yeah, that's why we're doing this. And it's like she doesn't know me, but she knows enough that she knows it's been hard, and that, yeah, there's been people that have given us a lot of shit over this vlog, and it's been really, really tough. and it's hard to like talk about it because I don't want to like, I don't know, complain or something, but I feel like she gave me permission to talk about it in a way. That was really cool. And something else that she did, which I felt like was really touched me, that she took the time to specifically draw out each one of our family members and the things she appreciates the most about them. I thought that was really cool.
We're gonna share this letter with the kids later on.
So Madeline, if you're out there, thank you. Let's talk about finances.
Okay, the last Friday of every month we call Financial Friday, and we talk about money. This is a rent payment I just got because it's the end of the month. And we talk about money for two reasons around here. One is because we think it's important, and if we're just showing you the parts of our life that are like I don't know,
sexy,
fun and sexy, without showing you like what fuels it, we think it's pretty inauthentic and kind of could be misleading. But the second reason is we're trying to learn to free ourselves from shame of money and help other people to do the same, because it's just money. It's not magic. It doesn't make you that special or not special. Today's topic is gonna be some updates on some things, and it all kind of started with this. We sent out our survey for the 500th episode, and we got a response from someone named Tanya, and she said this: I made a comment about your Patreon feeling sleazy, and I am so very sorry. At the time I didn't realize that you didn't monetize your videos and that you were doing this just to help others. I have regretted that comment for a long time, but I had no idea how to apologize. Your videos have made me realize that it's important to acknowledge when you're wrong, and I'm in the wrong here. Thank you for being around. So what she's referencing is 1 year ago, 1 year after we started vlogging, and 1 year from now, because we just finished our 2 years, we kind of let people know that we weren't making any money off these vlogs, but we opened up like a Patreon account so people could fund us optionally if they wanted to. Which was kind of a tricky and confusing thing, because from one perspective, like, it's obvious we're not starving, like we've never been starving.
We have plenty of wood.
Cammy thinks we do, at least. And we don't need the money. But then in another sense, we don't really believe in like the YouTube ad system. It feels kind of sleazy and deceptive to me, or maybe not. It doesn't seem upfront to like subject you guys to just a bunch more advertising when we don't really believe in those products. And I don't like making money that way. So sure enough, I went and looked up her comment from that video, and she said back then, a year ago, I enjoy your vlog. Just because you can ask for money doesn't mean you should. I've always seen you as humble until you start asking for money. It's as if we should contribute to see your material. I think you either like it or not, but don't ask fans for money. That's just sleazy. So Tanya, I know that you already apologized for that, so you are completely forgiven as far as we're concerned. That's water under the bridge. And I think it's really cool that you followed up on that a year later even. It was really good to hear that. But we got that sentiment from a lot of people a year ago, and I think for a while we pushed the Patreon thing harder, like I mentioned it at the end of every episode. And I did that because, not because we needed more money once again, but because I'm kind of like philosophically opposed to just giving handouts out. I feel like if you guys are receiving a product, it's good to pay for it. Like, and we have all these products now, like Facebook and YouTube, and people are like, oh, those are free. Well, they're not actually. You know, they feel like they are, but you're paying for them. These companies are making money off of you. You might not know it, but nothing's free. And we were trying to be upfront about the cost. So even though we don't need money, it seems weird that we should just be making these without any compensation. And part of it I'm okay with. I believe in the message, and I actually can't think of anything better to be doing with my life than sharing this message. so I'm gonna keep on doing it. But also there's some other questions, like if people say it's valuable, but they're not willing to pay for it, do they really think it's valuable? And I'm always asking the question in my head, is there a more valuable way for us to be spending our time? Either with this message, maybe it's a different market, like writing books, or like, you know, doing more business coaching type things. Or maybe I should be getting back into the business world. I don't know. Like, I don't really think that, but those are questions all the time that are going through my head. A year ago, we started like pushing the Patreon thing, and finally we thought, you know what, this is just so damn distracting for people and us. Like, let's just focus on the message. We'll put the link down to Patreon below. People can find it if they hunt around for it. And it's like worked. In the last year, actually it's kind of worked. We've got $1,600. Currently we have 13 Patreons and people donate $97 a month. And I'm thankful for every one of those dollars. Like, I don't think those people have to do it, so I don't know why they're all doing it. I'm really thankful for all of it. And in one sense, I don't think we deserve any of it, but then in another sense, I'm like, dang, we put out 20 videos a month for $97. That's about $4 each, and they take about 8 hours each. That doesn't like work out very good mathematically.
The reality is, if we didn't have other savings or income from rental properties and stuff, I don't think we could keep doing it. At least not at the pace we're doing it at.
No, we couldn't. And I don't know what to make of that. Maybe we're just in a season where we should just like still be investing in this ourselves. Because the way I see it, it costs about $60,000 to do this vlog. It's just that we're paying for it now with money we're making from other places. And I think it's worth it for me. Like, I believe in it that much, so I'm okay with that. But if in like 5 years, we're still like paying it, I think maybe it should be like, either we're not doing a good job communicating something, or people really aren't saying it's valuable, like they'd rather spend $5 somewhere else. And I actually think we should listen to that. I mean, we might be a ways away from that. One of the updates I wanted to do was with our monthly income, and just for some of you guys are new and some of you guys have seen our videos from a year ago, but we are currently making about $5,000 a month from rental property after expenses. It's $5,800. I imagine about $800 of that goes towards our property management fees and taxes and all these other things. So $5,000 a month, that's $60,000 a year. The cool thing about that number is that's mostly passive income, in that it doesn't require daily work from us at all. We still have one property completely vacant that if we fill, I think will bring in another $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year. I don't really know how to land this plane. Like, our life is great. If we didn't make another dollar from Fight for Together vlog, I would keep on doing it until we weren't able to anymore. And that's kind of our plan right now, unless something else like comes into our life. Because I love it and I believe in it. And I hope some of you believe in it too. These decisions are tricky. It's tricky to communicate. I feel like we have to, though, for you guys to get a full idea of what goes into vlogging life and our life and what we think about. A lot of people, it's just like really simple to them. They're just like, oh, turn on ads. We could do that. I think we'd make some money from it. But recently something came up in the YouTube community which was called
advertisers flipped out and they didn't want to be in front of this content. They went to YouTube. YouTube immediately bent over. What can we change? How can we please you advertisers so you'll continue to advertise on this platform? A lot of creators, a lot of that community got hit very, very hard. Some of my friends saw a drop literally of 80%.
And what people realized was that even when you're dependent upon ads or the YouTube community, you're kind of enslaving yourself to someone else. I mean, imagine this. Imagine if we found out that if we put sex in the title, we get 10 times as much money. Like, one video we put out last week got 7,000 views. And normally a video gets 500 views for us. We'd be like, oh crap, should we be talking about sex more to get more money? Or if we found out that putting sex in the title, or in the content even, made it so that we didn't get any views, or talking about God, or marriage, or spanking, that really is like kind of voluntary slavery.
And it kind of would mess with our heads, I think.
Yeah, and I'm just not ready for that right now. I like to just make the content the way that it's normal and natural and from our hearts, and not have to think about the money in that phase. And we want to give it out for free. One of the things that our Patreon is about is saying, if you have benefited from these videos, if they've changed your life in a substantial way, we would at least ask you to consider contributing, because it'll help us out. And I actually think it helps you out. I mean, this sounds kind of weird to say, but I like paying for things that we actually want to support. You know, they say this phrase, money is where your heart is. Is that what it is? I think it's famous somewhere. Maybe it's in the Bible, maybe Martin Luther. When you care about something, you care more about it when your money goes there too. And we're really thankful for those of you guys that have already supported us.
And we have people giving us $1 a month and people giving us like $20 or $30 a month. So there's really not like a right amount either.
There's also this pressure, like a lot of people have these like amazing Patreon pages and they're like, okay, if you're a $5 a month supporter, we're gonna send you a mug. And actually I wanna make mugs, so that's kind of a bad example, but we're gonna send you a sticker, and if for $100, we're gonna give you a custom phone call. And like, we could do all that game, but to me, that's once again like making almost you guys are bosses. And we're not a product, we're not for sale. I don't wanna jump through any more hoops for you. I feel like we're already giving you the product. We're doing it. We're doing the best we can right now. And if that is already something that's valuable and helpful for you, and if you want to give out of thankfulness, you're invited to do that. You don't have to feel any pressure. This isn't a guilt trip or anything. But also, we're not going to change anything for you just because you decide to give. How's that for a Financial Friday? That's our year update though. So we're still having the Patreon link down there. We're still not feeling any more pressure to like, I don't know, hard sell it or anything like that. That's the last you're probably gonna hear about it for a while. The baby's screaming his brains out. There's a poopy diaper. You know what though? This letter, this is a way of giving too, and it's not less valuable than money. You know, when I say I think it's good for you guys to give, I mean in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be money, but it like helps remind us that we're all kind of real people, and we're not superheroes on a vlog that don't care about money or people or things. And you guys aren't just consumers. You're better than that.
That was so bitter. This was more like it. There you go.
It is Shabbat, so we are starting to rest for 24 hours. The reason why we can rest each week is because Shabbat is about looking at the previous 6 days and the work that you've done, the projects that you've completed, and even the projects that are incomplete, and being able to say that they are good enough. The work is good enough. You are good enough as a person to not have to work anymore to prove that you're a good person to your mom or your dad or your boss or yourself or God. And what we believe is what makes us a good person is that someone who actually did perfect work on this planet, this guy whose name was Jesus, he claimed to be God's son, he passed on his work to us. So once a week we celebrate that, how awesome that is. And I think before celebrating this, it never ever felt like enough. You know, like there's always this nagging feeling in the back of my head, always, like, oh, I need to do another project or make another dollar, or my kids are behind in school, or I should have had that other meeting with that friend, I'm not a good enough friend, or I'm not good enough dad or husband. And it's so scandalous just to look at our lives just as they stand right now and say, I'm a good enough husband. And I think that's what actually allows me to be a better husband out of freedom instead of out of guilt.
Or fear.
But tonight we have a special kind kind of surprise we're going to announce to the kids. Let's get them here. Hey, so one of the ways that we have learned about grace and rest is from this story, Les Mis. Tonight, we're gonna be watching this movie, and the reason why is, you know?
Are we gonna go see the show? What?
You can open them up. In 3 weeks, we are gonna be driving to Nashville to watch the musical, the Broadway musical, Les Mis. Our whole family is gonna be gone.
Wait, can I?
No, in 3 weeks.
They're the same thing.
It's kind of the same thing, yeah.
Oh wow. But we're going to watch real people act instead of a,
Dada,
it's not a
Yes.
movie.
We hope you guys have a good rest. We will see you next week. Shabbat Shalom.